hashtag Burst TV week 143. This part, the quote is coming from Wordology Official. And the quote that they posted reads, karma is gonna hit some of y'all real hard for breaking people who had nothing but good intentions for you. And just like anything, any order, or just like the other three, we can do any order. I would, I'm ready to go, but I always acquiesce to whoever's chomping at the proverbial bit.
I'll go.
All right.
I'll go. The meme is just straightforward. I mean, you over here doing people that have good intentions for you dirty. Karma's gonna bite you in the ass. It's that wordology meme is as straightforward as it gets. Honestly, there's nothing that needs to be said. We all been there when we was there for people that wasn't there for us, and God handled them on the spot. That's basically all I gotta say.
So for me, honestly, my first reaction when I read this, I was like, oh, that's cool. But I was like, no, because it also feels judgy, and it gives me another who are me scenario, because it's like I wouldn't wish negative karma even on my enemies. Like I dealt with COVID a little while back at the end of the year, and I wouldn't wish that on an enemy. I don't care what kind of karma is coming their way. I just don't wish bad for people, period. And it's like, how do you know that they didn't also have the best of intentions for you? But as they say, sometimes the best laid plans of mice and men sometimes go awry. How do you know that they didn't want what's best for you, but things just didn't work out, and they weren't, it wasn't a good versus evil situation. And that's part of the reason that as a kid, I always used to love X-Men, because X-Men, it there was always like little nuances between, like, yeah, Magneto is, quote, the bad guy, but he's fighting for something that he believes in, which is kind of, again, nuance. There's nuance to the good and the bad. So if somebody's just evil, then yeah, I sure, why not? Send them bad karma. Why not? But for somebody who just is coming from a different perspective than you, I don't know, because there's too much nuance. And for me, really quickly, as far as it connecting to my life, I I think about when I was 26, I was briefly looking at dating this dude who I thought was actually really attractive and really cool and everything. We were hitting it off. And then he tells me that he has autism. And I'm like, ooh, I don't know how to deal with that. And I asked him a million questions about autism because I wanted to learn. But at the end of the day, I was kind of uncomfortable with it, and I ghosted him. And next year, I get diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. So now when I deal with people who it's like, they do that thing to me where they ask me a million questions on what's multiple sclerosis, blah, 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 blah. And then they ghost me. I'm like, maybe that's karma. But I didn't, it's not like I had bad intentions for him. I just didn't know, but some could say this is karma. Anyway, I'm done. That's my 3 minutes. Next.
I was gonna say you sound that was great. Yeah, I believe everything you said. Yeah, and I don't really know. I don't wish it either, but sometimes you do wish it. I have, and sometimes you feel so bad for something that one person that did that one thing to you, anybody, you feel like they gotta be got right. They took your thing or said something really bad. I feel that way, but I usually just don't be feeling that way a lot. Oh, I was gonna say, what goes around comes around. What goes up must come down.
All right now. And ChrisSEE Marie.
Okay,
Or
so
yeah.
I'm in agreement with you, Aaron Mack, as far as not wishing bad on people. But you do reap what you sow. I do believe that. And if you sow goodness, then that's what you'll get in return. However, a lot of it is mostly, um, like if you throw a pebble into some still water, there's a ripple, and that's the karma of throwing the pebble. So the same thing happens when you treat people good or bad. There's a consequence that comes along with it. So karma isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's not nothing necessarily negative. Um, it can be, if you walk in traffic when the light is green, you might get hit by a car. That's the karma of of doing that. If that's a analogy that makes sense. But as far as like my I don't know, I have a lot of different beliefs as far as how people should be treated when they've treated other people poorly. And my first instinct is to walk away. I'm not going to continue to be treated poorly. And so for me, that's the karma for me, for me to be out of their lives and me to be at peace. And I made a decision for that, for my peace of mind. Um, for those people who do people wrong, who deceive people, who create an illusion, who make them believe one thing with their words and show them another thing with their actions. Um, uh, Karma can be um, karma can be the reaction, emotional reaction to that, and mental reaction to that. So karma varies, but I do believe that a person does reap what they sow, um, without having to even do anything. You don't even have to touch a person to actually change their lives. You can say the right things to one right person to affect a person's life if they've done you wrong. Somebody who, especially if you're a kind and loving and genuine person, and you don't walk around this earth doing that to people, doing wrong to people. You're a credible person based off of your own actions and your own merit. But then this other person enters, and they're known for exactly the same reason, except they're known for all the bad things they do. So they never really get good to them. So they seek after people to create chaos for, and really in return, they're creating their own chaos. This is like, it's like a pendulum. So I know that was a lot I just said right there, but as far as karma's gonna hit some people really hard, yeah, it'll hit people hard for breaking people who had nothing but good intentions for them. Especially if everyone else knows that person and knows that they're genuinely a good person with good intentions, and the other person involved is not. So opportunities will be, will slip through the fingertips and whatnot. Opportunities will just be amiss because of those things, because of those personal choices.
All
Does that make
right.
sense? Did that make sense, or did that sound like too much? Because I know I went off on like a bunch of different tangents there. And I make sense to myself, and sometimes I don't make sense when I say stuff, but it made a whole lot of sense to me. Did anybody understand what I said as far as that? Because I said a whole bunch.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I understood everything you said.
Okay, good.
Picking up what you put down. All right.
What is the freakiest thing you've ever done? Will you do it again? Why or why not? Nothing. I haven't did anything yet. And maybe in the future. I was looking forward to it.
All right. Now, okay, and me next. All right. So, if okay, good. So I was going to share my story. When I was in college, I had a physical encounter meeting, aka a hookup, with a University of Maryland football player. I was at Howard, he was at University of Maryland. And because at the last minute, his roommate ended up still being in the dorm, he was like, we can't go to my dorm, but I know a place that we can go. And he straight up, oh my gosh, so shade. Well, anyway, straight up took